Everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison, and today we will be looking at the market, see what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just going mental just now, nearly touched $13,000. Can we get up to its all-time high of $20,000? If it reaches that, might be a pullback. There might be a pullback before then, so we'll be kind of looking at that, getting your thoughts as well. So the live show is just about talking to you guys, looking over the charts. Let me know what charts you want to kind of look at. If you've got any questions at all about trading, about kind of anything else, kind of let me know as well in the chat area. I'm just going to see if we're live. Make sure everything is up and running. Yes, we are live. We're live just now. So if you're watching just now, leave a comment in the chat area. Just let me know where you're from. And that's all you need to do, is just to let me know that you're here and just to say hi as well. This is the live show is all about you guys and just kind of chatting to you as well. That's why I love doing the live and just talking to you and get the energy of the room. Okay, so just dive over and see who's in the chat just now. First of all, if you can go down to that like button and hit that like button, that'll be fantastic to help the channel grow. So crush the likes, everybody. That'd be fantastic. Okay, Donny Don Matthew is in the house. We have Andreas with us. Gordy Boy is in. Adeb Vin, one of our brilliant admins. And Adeb's doing a brilliant job kind of providing with the news, curating the news stories that I do in the afternoon. So we've got an afternoon edition for the news as well. We've got the Revolutionists in. Danny Phoenix, Justin Churchill, Scottish Bull, Gareth Mabed, David Schwartz, Karen Thomas, Peter Van Den Wright is in, Pascal Amsterdam, Mervyn Skidmore is in, Marcus Jafari, David Clayton, John Russell, Peter Liapis, Barbara Taylor, Rob UK, one of our brilliant admins is in the house as well. Honest Crypto Journey, Bernard Ronald, I'll get to the comments after. Jonathan Martin, High Plains Drifter, G Slick is in as well. So thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate you kind of being here. And I'm just going to go through the comments just now very quickly. Alts or BTC? Well, I'm going to talk about pitching your tent for the alts as well. And really, we'll go over the markets first and then we can talk after. I just wanted to kind of welcome everybody in. London Bobby is in with us as well. Loyal Tanji as well. Okay, look at the markets overall. What is going on in the overall market? We have an overall market capitalization of 363 billion. Cannot believe we would have been here this time last month. Probably about this time last month. There's no way you'd have thought we'd have been here just now. But 363 billion. We're at just now, we've got Bitcoin dominance of 61.9%, which is why obviously the Bitcoin price has gone up, because it's dominating 61.9% of the overall market capitalization. So what's that, about 190 billion in total? Well, 225 billion the market cap. So Bitcoin is one of the highest risers as well. But we'll see who's the winners and losers. We've got Qtum up 29%, Egrisha is up 27%, Hypercash, ABBC, Crypto, Mixin, Elastos, Amici Go, Thorcoin and Bitcoin in the top 10 as well of the risers, all in double-digit greens. We've got Quant is going up as well. That Quant seems to be a good one. A lot of people are kind of talking about that and liking Quant at the moment. InvestChain, Neo, Lambda, Nash Exchange as well. So a lot of good ones there. I want to take a quick look. We'll go to the losers first. Dent is down 11%, so VeChain down very strangely. VeChain, I thought that would have been kind of up there, but I still think it'll come back when the alts come back as well. MadeSafe, Monero, Tezos, Grin, Wax, Odom, InsightChain, all down as well. I want to take a look at the Bitcoin value. This is the Satoshi value and see how many are up. So if we look at the Satoshi value, there's only these stable coins. Any stable coins in there? Nope. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10% of the top 100 are in the green with regards to Satoshi value. So it's only because Bitcoin price has gone up that all the other alts in dollar value has gone up. Now you might say, well, we only care about dollar value. Not really. We should be caring about the BTC value. That's what, because really ultimately what we're looking to do is to get more BTC. At the end of it all, apart from kind of like the big ones, if you're looking for Cardano, Neo, LTC, Ethereum, EOS and stuff like that, you're going to kind of watch that for the future as well. So it's better to look at, I think, in the Satoshi value, unless you're cashing out. So unless you're cashing out. Because my portfolio has stayed the same, roughly the same all week, even though the Bitcoin value is kind of drastically dropped. And the actual Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoins I've got has drastically dropped. The value is up because of the dollar value. And I'm not really looking at, I don't want to look at that. I want to get as much Bitcoin as possible, which will push obviously the dollar value up. But that's ultimately what I'm looking to do. So it's just good to kind of look at the BTC value as well. We just have to remember that from time to time as well. So at the moment, USD value, how many is in the green? Got about 60% in the green and 40% in the, well, about 30% in the red and 70% in the green. Okay, overall cryptos. So we've now got 2,286. That's not really changed much. And we'll see who's at the top. Euclid coin is up there, 93%. Yuan Chain coin is up 89%. Content box 73% on 6.2 million volume. Ergo SafeX token, SafeX, not heard of that for a while. Onite is up. Local coin swap. Deep Brain Chain is up 48%. Not heard about that in a while either. And Scanit Chain 46% as well. Be interesting to see the BTC value as well, but looks like we're just about to go down. The Brave Browser might be going down just now. And just bear with me a wee second while we get this Brave Browser up. Now it looks like it's going to crash. Been doing that a couple of times with the Brave Browser. Just bear with me, folks. Sorry about this. I can't even switch between the tabs. Now I'm going to force quit it and get it back up and running. Not even let me do that. Okay, we'll go to the trusty favourites. Trading view. A second, see if we can get it back up because that is a pain in the butt. Now, just bear with me a wee second, folks. I'll get this back up and running. I don't know why it's crashed. But it has happened a couple of times with Brave, so I don't know if it needs updated or not. Let's have a wee look. See. Nope, it's not going to let me. And I'm not logged in here. Bugger, bugger. Right, we'll go back to my ugly mush for a wee second until I get things up and running here. It's not going to let me on Chrome either. Come on. Restore. And I hope it does restore them all because I had everything saved for you. But basically, Bitcoin is still going up. I'm just going to go to the laptop just now. Bitcoin is still going up. It was reaching $13,000. It didn't quite hit $13,000. I'm just going to see if we have that. Oh Christ, this has gone down as well. It's just, it must be the Brave browser. Something wrong with the Brave browser altogether. And I can't even get to the comments. Now I'm going to go onto the laptop and just get to the comments just now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Right. Right, live just now. Turn the sound off. Go to the comments. Right, so we are back. Crazy undervalued project to Peter Leopis. Up to $12. I'll just go to some of the comments just now. I'm looking at the laptop just now, so sorry I'm not looking at the computer. Let's see if I can get this back up in the meantime as well. I'll go to some of the comments. Right. Scottish Bull, Ledger X Futures. Yeah, Ledger X Futures has been given the news from CFTC that they can actually do. It's like an ETF, it's physically backed as well, and not like a fiat backed one. It means that when the contract ends, basically what will happen is you'll actually get the Bitcoin. You don't physically get it, but it's called physically backed because you actually have to buy the Bitcoin when the contract ends, or get the Bitcoin or sell it or whatever. Just like a normal kind of futures contract, but it's physically backed. So that's the difference between that and the CBOE one as well. So that's good news for Bitcoin as well. Right, I'm just going to see if we're back up and running. I don't think so here, but I'll just see if everything's up and running again. CoinMarketCap views, we've got that. Let's see if we can get the charts up just now and then jump back over. Ah, you bollock, man. Right, here we go. right, said Fred. Right, here we go. From now. Right, Bitcoin. Sorry about that. We're up to 12,603 or 12,595. It's just changing all the time because it's so volatile just now. You can see we didn't quite get to 13,000 there, but we're nearly 12,900, and what was the high price? 12,935 we got to. Are we going to break 13,000? Probably going to break 13,000, I would imagine, the way this is going just now. And this is just a perfect, even if you traded on the hour chart, you could have gone to 9,123 and still been in on this, and possibly even lower at 7,892. But it's just such a beautiful chart to see. It's not good for the alts, obviously. It's not good at all. But on the daily, just look at that. Crossed over at 3,674. If you just used the daily, or if I just used the daily and just got in on the crossover and just stayed in until it crossed back down, would have been like 300-400% up just on Bitcoin alone. So that would have been fantastic. So 12,600. Now, I did see something on Twitter, and this is, I'm just going to go to these just now just to get them back up and running. That's quite a nightmare, this. Right, this is from FRX Bitcoin. This is on Twitter, and I kind of shared this in the groups this morning. And this is how quick Bitcoin went up the last time in the last rally. So from 8,000 to 9,000, it took 9 days. From 9,000 to 10,000, it took 2 days. The next step up was 1 day. Next step up was 6 days. So we're at the 11,000, well, 12,000 to 13,000. It took 17 hours. Didn't take us quite that long for this time round. From 13 to 14, it took 4 hours. 14 to 15, 10 hours. 15 to 16, 5 hours. 16 to 17, 2 hours. 17 to 18, 10 minutes. And 18 to 19, 3 minutes. So, going by this, we should, by the end of the week, be up at an all-time high for Bitcoin. We should be up at the all-time high for Bitcoin by the end of the week. And I would imagine that we're going to stop there momentarily. We could have a pullback of 20, 30, 40%, you don't know. Could be 10%, then it goes back up again, just keeps going. But what goes up has to come down sometime. But if we go down to up to 2017, which is here, it just kept on rising as well. A lot of people were saying exactly the same thing, from 4,000 or 3,885 all the way up. Now we did have pullbacks in between. We've had kind of that already, from 7,849 to 5,500. So that was $2,000 pullback, or a 25-30% pullback. And then it just kept on going up. Small pullback here at 17,000 down to 12,000. So it looks like a blip on the map now. And then it just kept on going back up again. And you can see all the way up. You can see what happened all the way up in 2017. This is the 7 EMA. This is the exponential moving average. It just bounced off that exponential moving average all the way up. And then when it broke that, that's when it started kind of breaking down. The pattern started breaking down again. We're doing the same thing here in 2019. All the way up, bouncing off the 7 EMA and going up again. And in fact, since it crossed over, we've been bouncing off the 7 EMA all the way up, and it's still going up. So when we come down below the 7 EMA, and if we touch the 50 EMA, that's when things, you start to look at it and say, okay, it's time to sell or time to short or whatever you're doing. But just now, it's still looking good. It's still looking good for Bitcoin. And we could, by the end of this week, get to $20,000 as all-time high. So what do we do with regards to the alts then? In fact, I'm just going to go back to chat, just to make sure it's still in. I'm just going to see if this chat is still here yet. Okay. So there's a lot of people joined us. Bernard Ronald, Scottish Bull from sunny Southside Glasgow. Jonathan Martin, morning to you. London Bobby, aloha from stormy Honolulu. Lil Tanji, Peter Liapas, Icon, crazy undervalued. There's a lot of alts crazy undervalued just now. Really undervalued. Gareth Mabet, whoops, forgot the thumbs up. Excellent. Stephen King is in, good morning to you. Lick Maringer, hola, good morning to you. Heavy alt bags, dollar up, BTC down. I know, I don't like being BTC down. I'd rather be BTC kind of stable. Not the Bitcoin itself, but my kind of portfolio. I'd rather the BTC value going up rather than the dollar value at this stage, because there's always going to be opportunities to make kind of dollars. But it's harder to get the Bitcoin back once it's gone down. Donny Don Matthew, what happened to Den? It was moving up well and then just crashed. Yeah, it hit that 25 ceiling, 25 Satoshi ceiling, and then just kind of fell down. XRP, 3,600, I've seen it. So we'll look at some of the other charts as well. So look at some of the big ones here. What's going up? TNT, not really. Encash, excuse me. It's going up a couple of Satoshi. It's not that much. A couple of Satoshi worth is going up at the moment, but it looks good on there because it's moved up like 10%, but that's like 2 Satoshi. It's diving up. Hot ICX has gone up as we kind of speak just now. We just looked at that and just said that. This is the 5-minute chart. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. So I went through every single chart this morning twice, and this morning when I got up, so I was up kind of early this morning at 4:10 or something. I went through every single chart on the 1 hour. I usually do it kind of higher up, but because it's a volatile market for the alts, I went through every single chart on the 1 hour. There was 2 that would have made a call, and I went through every chart in the 5 minutes, and again there was only 2 that probably would have made a call, and they'd have kind of risen already. So that just shows you how much they are down just now in Satoshi value. So there's going to be a lot of bargains. That's the kind of point I was making here. So this is the time to pitch your tent. What is your favorite altcoin? What's your favorite altcoin? And would you be comfortable holding it for the next 8 weeks? But I think what's going to happen here, Bitcoin is going to go up. I'm still saying the Bitcoin is going to go up. I said 11,500, then we're going to pull back. It didn't happen that way. And I said that way back when it was $6,500 or $7,500, but it's not pulled back at all. This could go up to 20,000, reach its all-time high, and then I would imagine for the psychological barrier of 20,000 being an all-time high, and the psychological barrier there, I think it would come back down. I don't know how far, but if you're talking 20% it comes down, it just goes down to 16,000, then back up again. If there's a 30% pullback, it goes down to 14,000, then back up again. So there are the alts are going to come. They're going to come. It always happens in the cycles with it as well. We've seen that on the last bull run what happened, and we'll just have a look what happened in the last bull run. So it really started, well, it kind of started way before then, kind of March 2017, and just kept on going up. But the alts didn't really follow. So if we kind of look at comparison, we'll just do Ethereum BTC. So do the BTC value down is down in Ethereum just now. But if we go to 2017, we're talking about the 18th of December. Now that's when Bitcoin peaked. Bitcoin peaked around about that time. So yeah, 17th of December, then Bitcoin started coming down. So that's when Ethereum started going up. Ethereum took a jump up of 58.7%. That's on the 4 hour. We'll go to daily. So really, it actually took a bigger jump. Much bigger jump somewhere else. 400% kind of went up from its low, not just a crossover, but from kind of December, just before Bitcoin started going down, it took a jump. And I think that's what's going to happen with the alt. So if we theoretically go to our all-time high by the end of this week, and we could possibly do that, then people are going to start to say enough's enough. That's too much of a rise, and they're going to start to not panic, but they're going to start to say, right, I've made a lot of money here, or 20,000 is a barrier because it's a psychological barrier, and they're going to start selling into the alts, and they're going to start going into the large cap alts as well, and that'll be the likes of Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Neo, BNB, just the kind of top 10, top 20. And then you're going to get the outliers as well, where there's going to be other ones that just shoot up, like VeChain or something like that as well, PundiX, and you're going to start to see an alt run. This is what's going to happen. So that's my prediction. So I reckon it's not even 4 weeks that you need to hold the alts. I think it's going to be much less than that. But just in case, and just say, am I prepared to hold this for the next 4 weeks? Like VeChain, a lot of people were talking in the group this morning when I was there this morning, just saying they're going to hold on to VeChain. Quite right, good. I kind of got out of VeChain as well. Again, a big loss, and got into kind of other ones as well. And I was going to hold kind of Bitcoin to see what it did, but I just thought there's too many good kind of opportunities just now to top up on XRP, ADA, but I'm still looking to get back into VeChain as well. I just think it's going to shoot up. So what we're looking like just now. So this is Binance just now. Remember Binance, a couple of months time, that the US investors are going to be out of Binance. So the liquidity is going to plummet on Binance, and really plummet. So I have to be really careful of that as well, and think about that and not get too complacent. I think something will happen before then. I think that Binance will sort something out before that actually happens, but we'll just need to wait and see. You cannot guarantee that. So nothing much happening on Binance. You can see most of them, they've not even got one page in the green with regards to Satoshi value. Algo is up. I wouldn't kind of really touch Algo, to be honest. I think the market cap is way too high just for a new project that's just come out. So I wouldn't even kind of be looking at that. I know it looks okay on the charts and it crossed over and you could trade it that way, but for an investment, not so much. TNT going back up again. QTIM, obviously we've seen that. Encash, as I said, a couple of Satoshi, it's up and it jumps up kind of 10%-ish. KLC, nothing much there as well. OMG, so there's nothing really much to kind of write home about at all. At the other end of the scale, PundiX down to 7 to 8 Satoshi. You might even get 6 or 7 if this keeps on going the way it's going just now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. VeChain is down to 71, 72. But you might not see this just now. You really might not see this just now, but this is the time to pitch your tent and get in the alts. Top up if you can. If you've got the cash, top up on your favourite alts, because alt season will come and it might start by the end of this week if Bitcoin keeps on going the way it's going just now. So if you look at it on the daily, that's just a kind of little blip, that wick up to there. So if you look on the hourly, you just say, oh my God, it's kind of fell down quite a lot from 12,743, 12,522, but it's not that much at all. So we'll see, it might keep on coming down. Might touch that 7 EMA around about the 12,300 and bounce back up again. So we'll see what happens, but the way it's going just now, we could see its all-time high by the end of the week, and then I think we're due for a major kind of pullback, and that's when the alts are going to start really kind of jumping up. So pick your favourite alt, and you've done your due diligence. It's a good project, whatever you've done and you think is a good project, and stay with it. Stick with it because it's going to come back up, and you're going to get some big rises in the alts market. And whether that be a prolonged alt season, I don't know. Nobody really knows, or nobody does know. And if they claim to know, then don't listen to them, because I certainly don't know. It's only my opinions. So go back to if you've got any questions or anything. Right. I missed a lot here. Right, Rolling Rocket. Yeah, I saw the BAB AMA and was very disappointed. I really don't like what they're doing right now. Somebody was suggesting the AMA yesterday of BAB, because I've seen it. Somebody kind of pointed out and said, did you see the AMA? And I hadn't seen it, so I just flicked through it and I thought, what an absolute shambles of an... it was kind of embarrassing, to be honest. But somebody mentioned yesterday in the group that they're doing that for a reason. They could possibly be doing that for a reason to cover up what's really going on in the background, and they purposely did it to make it look really bad. It did look extremely bad, because their kind of thinking was you couldn't do something that bad unless you actually were planning to make it that bad. So unless you'd kind of almost scripted it out, like an episode of The Office or something, unless you'd kind of scripted out, it couldn't be that bad. So he's kind of suggesting that they're covering something up, and it could well be that. I don't know if they're that smart to do that, but it could well be that they're covering something up. But I just flicked through it because it was that embarrassing, to be honest. If that wasn't meant, then that was a shambles, and that would be the nail in the coffin for BAB. If it wasn't meant, if it wasn't a staged kind of AMA, then that's the nail in the coffin for BAB, I'd say. Stick the nut in that computer, Steve, I'll fix it. Ajmal Salim, if anybody doesn't know, that's me kind of headbutting the computer. Just Scottish vernacular there. Peter Liapis, I'm long ICX, XRP and Link. Good projects, really good projects. The Hawthorns is in, good day to you. Crypto Cannabis is in. Ajmal Salim, BTC to hit 13k on BitMEX. I've seen that, yeah. Seen that as well. Low Tangi, Binance 2. Binance is a good one. I think it's down to about 290 Satoshi or something just now. Binance. BNB. Oh, 290 has come back up. So was down to 282 Satoshi, which would have been a brilliant price to get in it. And that's trading view. Just want to see the percentages. 6%. So you could. So I've done a couple of scalps this morning as well. Managed to get 1%ish on a couple of trades as well. BNB was one of them. This keeps jumping, man. Crypto Dread is in the house. Good morning to you. CB Norwood, good morning to you. Daz Hibernian is that another Scottish man? Digibite. What's that in Scottish pounds? What's what? So I'm missing something. Right. Cardano, just have a wee look at Cardano. I'm in Cardano as well. ADA, BTC. Yeesh, 775. Look at that, the lowest the lowest, I think it's near its all-time low, certainly on Binance, near its all-time low. And this is why I had to get more kind of Cardano. Is it its all-time low? What's its all-time low closing? 714 is its all-time low closing price. But I would suspect on, was it on Bittrex first? Probably on Bittrex first, probably got longer. September 2017. So its all-time low was 281. So it's not its all-time low, it's just its all-time low in Binance. So 777. Crazy. So that's what I mean by pitching your tent. Just say, okay, I'm staking my claim here. I'm in it for the the longer term, maybe 4 weeks or something, and until they go up. But we can see just now that we think they're also not going to go up. Bitcoin is just going to, it's just going to go be a crazy market, and they're also not going to go up. Stick with the alts. If you've got a good project, stick with it. Accumulate more if you can, because it is going to come back up. Peter, I sold my bet for ICX 30 minutes ago. Excellent. Rabsy on the £5 and Billy Connell on the £10. Ivan on Tech made a good point. At the start of the last bull run, the BTC dominance increased loads. Like today, over 60%. That money eventually moved to alts and the dominance dropped. Yeah, that's what tends to happen. That's what's going to happen. I think the last bull run, it was something like 85% or something. In fact, I don't know. We'll probably be able to see it here. But I'm sure it was something crazy like 85% in the last bull run. Right, that's January 2018. No, it wasn't. It wasn't 80. It was 85% in January 2007 or February 2017. Then it came right down. So the last bull run, the peak was 65%. So we're actually getting up to the same peak as that, because we're at 62% just now, or nearly 62%. So we could see another push. And looking at the Bitcoin dominance here, this is this orange kind of section. Here's the Bitcoin dominance. We could see another push, get to 65%, then come back down, just like they did in 2017. So it went from 65% all the way down to nearly, well, it did half, about 32% within the space of a couple of weeks. So we could have that again. I might have that again. I think that is what's going to happen. And if we see here as well, we can look at this chart and we can zoom in a wee bit. So if we see and look at the Bitcoin dominance, but also look at the likes of Ethereum, was 9.71% dominance, Litecoin 1.2, XRP 2.07, we're Dash in there, NEM, Monero, obviously there'll be others now. But, and when we went down, we'll see them going up. So Bitcoin's 35%, Ethereum went up to 18.67%, Bitcoin Cash went up to 5.83, Litecoin 1.94, XRP went up 8.98%, and that was from 2%. So it went up 300% to 8.98%. I think that's exactly what's going to happen here as well. If Bitcoin keeps on going the way it's going, I think we could reach its peak by the end of this week, come down, and then it's going to be alt season and everybody's going to go mental. Nicky Sheldrake is in the house. Good morning to you. Good to see you here. Have you looked at Matic yet? I haven't looked at Matic. It doesn't look good on the charts. Matic, I looked at it this morning, but I've not looked at it on the live. But no, 146, well, it's coming back up actually. What was it, 140, I think? 139, it got spiked down to 134. So it doesn't look good. Nothing looks good for trading just now. Literally nothing is looking good for trading. Even if we go up to kind of what's going up just now. PundyX, that's just gone up to 8. TNT crossed over on the 1 hour, on the 4 hourly. Crossed over there. TNT is the only one, but that's already gone up and coming back down again. Encash, again, that's already gone up and coming back down, but it could go back up again. I don't know what's driving that, to be honest. I know I sold my couple of Satoshi, but it's still gone up. Hot is not crossed over. That's not a buy at the moment. I think that's it. BTC, obviously Bitcoin is still a buy. ICX is not even a buy just now, just because it's pumped up just now. But ICX, you probably have to go down to 15 minutes for it to be a buy. Yep. So this is what we're looking at when you're looking in a market like this, when Bitcoin is way, way high and the Bitcoin dominance is way high, and you're looking to trade, you're looking to kind of scalp, because you can make scalps in this market as well. If you're looking to scalp, then look at the 15 minutes. So if we just quickly go down the 15-minute chart and see, would you scalp? No, obviously you wouldn't scalp that because that's the total market capitalization without BTC. So very quickly go down. You might scalp Qtum, which has already been up. See, there's nothing, even on a 15-minute chart. There's hardly anything, and this is why. This is with Bitcoin going up so much as well. Ethereum is not. BNB might be. That's, you probably have to look at the 5-minute chart. But I've looked at the 5-minute chart, every single chart this morning, and there's only a couple on the 5-minute chart. So I wouldn't imagine there's going to be a lot on the 15-minute. Ambrosis might be up. Nano might be up as well. It's not even definitive. So there's hardly anything trading wise. Obviously for shorting it's totally different. You could be shorting XRP, or not Bitcoin, you could be shorting XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, probably Tron as well. You could be shorting them and make an absolute fortune with them, just shorting them. But that would be dangerous territory just now because they are going to go back up soon. But you could have been making a fortune if you'd been shorting them. Zilliqa might be going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 green candles. So Zilliqa might be ready to jump on a 5-minute chart. 160. So you might be able to scalp on Zilliqa. So that's where the opportunities are just now, just on kind of scalping, I'd say. Oh, what have we done there? 90 people in here, smash the likes. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you can go down to that like button and hit that like button just now, that'd be fantastic. And if you've got a question, let me know as well. The Office, at least he didn't dance, thank goodness. Bad project was Rush D. XRP, $22.50 by the end of the year. That would be good. Obviously, Bitcoin would have to be up to 20, 30, 40,000 or something, as well as the Satoshi value of XRP going up. Crypto Don Juan is in the house. Good morning to you. Good to see you here, buddy. We still make 300% with BTC in 5 months. Not bad. Not bad. It's brilliant. That's fantastic. Alt season will come again. Definitely. It will come again. T-Lock eyes for you. Good morning, Steve. Beam is creeping up slowly. Possible $100 coin. Beam, yeah, there's a lot of people into Beam as well. Where is it just now? Beam. It's still on a 54 million market cap. Just now. Now I know there's with the tokenomics, I know there's something with that, but I just didn't like there was only 10% of the circulating supply of the max in supply. But I know there's some kind of reason for that, and I don't quite know how that works. But I know there is a reason for it. But yeah, that could be a good one for the future as well. But I'm not too deeply into it. Hi, love from India. Why XRP is not moving? Because Bitcoin is going up. Basically everything. Nothing's really moving. It's all, well, it is moving. It's going down the way. Where is kind of XRP just now? XRP 3,730. I did get to 3,614. I did say if it went below 4,000, then I'd be worried. Obviously, it's way below that. It's 10% below that. Natasha Sakamoto, if new money comes FOMOing in and Bitcoin dominance will stay high, keep an alt season postponed. Yeah, as long as Bitcoin is high, just now the alt season is going to be postponed unless Bitcoin stabilizes. If Bitcoin was to go for the next, say, couple of days and then onto a week and then onto 2 weeks at these prices, so around about 12,000, 12,500, then the alts will come back again. You'll get some of the alts jumping up and then more and more alts will come, because people tend to forget about Bitcoin and just say, oh, it's 12,500, as long as it stays that way, I'm cool. They sell about Bitcoin, get into the alts, and that's how the alts come back up. So as long as Bitcoin's stable, or, well, just stable really. When it's stable, that's when the alts come back, or when it's going down as well, obviously, because people are getting out of BTC and going into the alts. Peter Liapis, Link, I looked at Link this morning as well as a possible kind of scalping as well, but Link just looked good for the long term. So on the 5-minute chart, that's when I was looking for a scalp at 16,900. Kind of looked at it. So yes, that could definitely be good as well for a trade. But for long term, it's a good project for long term as well. Mitch Dieter, do you consider Matic and One as good projects to hold? From what Matic are doing and looking to do in the partnerships they're making, and One as well, I think yes, they could come into their own very soon, with the all season coming soon as well. And when the next, I was going to say the next bull run, we're in a bull run just now, but when the next alt season comes, yeah, they could rise big time. So you're going to, when the alt season comes, you're going to get big gains. You're going to get big rises of 100%, 200, 300, 400%. Altcoin holder, that would make XRP market cap nearly 1 trillion on its own. Talking about the $22 price. Barbara McDonald, XRP going to zero? No chance. Absolutely no chance it's going to zero. I don't know why I'm looking on there. XRP, we'll just look at historically. And we'll go to XRP on another, we'll go to Poloniex, that's the longest running. So it is not going to zero. Definitely not. There's too much going on with XRP just now. So support, if we're talking about supports here, and we're talking about Satoshi value, obviously the dollar value is totally different. Support here, it broke the support line around about the 4,000 range. So it's broken that already. So we've gone below that. So where's the support? The next support? Round about 2,690. There's not any real support kind of above that, just above that. But 2,690 is the next real support. If it breaks that, you're talking 1,207 for the support. But again, for me, it's just about accumulating. If you believe in it, it's about accumulating from here. And you're going to get a lot of people saying, yeah, I told you so, XRP is going to zero. XRP is not going to zero. Jason Clayton, shorting. Shorting is just the same as buying, but it's just you're selling before you've actually kind of done anything. So you can sell Bitcoin just now and just say, okay, I want to sell that at, say, 12,500. And if it goes down, say $1,000, you can close your position and you make money that way as well. So it's just like you kind of buy it for, say, 12,000, and if it goes up to 13,000, you close your position at 13,000 and you get your money, you get $1,000 worth. Or if you've got leverage trading, you could leverage it two times, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. So you can short it as well on the likes of BitMEX. BitMEX, you can do that as well. So shorting is just the same as going long, but it's just the opposite. You think it's going to go, you think it's going to fall, so you kind of sell it first and then you buy it back. So what you're doing in the opposite way, you're buying back and then you're selling it. So it's just exactly the opposite. So you can make money shorting and longing. So you've got a long and you've got a short as well. I hope that explains it, Jason. G-Slick discount alt sale 90% off. Yeah, some of them is more than that. Bruce Rudling, Quant is my only alt going up. Hurry up alt season. So Quant we seen was a lot of people are into Quant just now. 76 million market cap. Yeah, it's gone up big time. So it's gone up about 300–400% just now. Where was it before? Gone up much more than that. So it's gone up about 700% over the last, well, nearly a year, I suppose. What's the ROI on that? 2,619% is the ROI. So it's doing brilliant as quant. And Dice Hibernian, yes, it would look into how deep Ripple is involved with everything. It is really, if you look at the kind of, Ripple is kind of like the underbelly of what's going on in crypto world, and because they've got so many fingers and so many pies just now, and it's just, but once they've got a finger in the pie, say of, I don't know, the kind of banking system is who the bank's clients are. They've got the fingers in those pies as well. It's just the network of how Ripple and XRP is involved in everything. It's just amazing to look at, and I'll do a kind of video of that one day as well, just to see all the network of everywhere they're involved in just now. It's just unbelievable. That's how I know it's never going to go away. It's never going to fade away. It is too enmeshed just now in the kind of cryptocurrency world. Tim Gash, it's been a long time since the last big alt run. My bags are packed, so I'm ready for this. Yes, it's going to be a good one. It is going to be a good one. Mike Witherford, stuck where to pitch my tent, XRP or Link? Well, you know kind of my feeling about XRP, but I also think Link could be a really good one. And if we're talking about just looking at market capitalization, you've got 757 million for Link, and you've got XRP at 18 billion, 20 billion just now. So 23 times off where Link is. So the potential for a bigger ROI is in Link. So I'm going to have to be kind of unbiased here. I'm going to try and be unbiased here. But the potential for a bigger ROI is in Link, definitely Chainlink. So I think that could easily get up to 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, 5 billion Chainlink. But I still think XRP are going to shoot up, and because of what we've just been talking about, the network, the huge network that they've got, and where they're involved in, and all the companies and all the kind of institutions they're involved in just now as well, is just so vast. It just kind of blows your mind. And I still think this has got the potential to 5x, 10x as well. But the bigger potential for the ROI would be Link, and that's being unbiased. And obviously, in XRP just now, I'm heavily, well, not heavily involved in it, but I'm into XRP just now. But I would definitely say the Link might be the better one. When Lambo, yeah. Crypto Knowledge Alliance is just in as well. Jimbo, good to see you, buddy, one of our brown admins. Yep, XRP breaking that 4,000 is fairly significant. It is significant. It really is significant. I still think it'll come back up. Well, I know it'll come back up. But breaking 4,000 Satoshi was a big drop. So yeah, the support, you're talking 2,690 is the next support, the next real support historically. But as I said, wait a couple of days and this is going to be a totally different story, I reckon. Gary Permenter, my favourite TKY is ready for liftoff. Steve, where is TKY just now, mate? I'll have to look in a while. That's hit BTC. We'll go to the daily. So all-time low at what, 1.6 to, I know this is hit BTC, 2, 4, 5, 140. Sorry, 16 Satoshi, 2, 4, 6. Just making sure I've got it right because they're doing to 10 decimal places. Yeah, 16 Satoshi just now. Yeah, possible 10x in there as well. I don't know too much about the key at all, but that's the chart for it. Mike, I hold XRP link in ICX, dude. Excellent. Could not. That's another potential 30% loss in XRP just to hit support. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. But as I said, I think it's going to turn around in the next couple of days. I think Bitcoin, BTC, USD, hopefully will hit its all-time high, 12.5551. So we need to wait and see. Just say a buy for ADA, 775. Is it going any lower? It possibly could. It just depends on how high Bitcoin is going. I've got some more ADA as well this morning at this price. So it's gone lower. It's 772 just now. And it did peak down to 748. So yeah, it can go lower. It definitely can go lower. Jason Clayton, cheers Steve, my pleasure mate. Mark Paulin, could be nice to know why BTC pumping like that. Does the world economy will crash and BTC refuge like gold? There's lots of different reasons for it. The institutions are in just now. This is not retail buyers, and retail buyers are people like you and I who are just buying $100 at a time or $1,000 at a time or something. We're considered retail buyers. Institutional buyers, they've been buying since 3,100. That's what they've been doing. They're collecting it. And if you think about everything that they're planning to offer in the future, and I've been saying this before, like some of the institutions are going to be planning to kind of buy and do ETFs, physically backed ETFs. They're going to be doing futures as well, but physically backed. So if they're buying up all that Bitcoin just now, they're buying it for $3,000, and you have to have a physically backed one. So if you've got institutions, this is why I think the SEC are in collusion with other kind of companies as well, just saying hold off till we kind of accumulate all this Bitcoin. This is what they're doing just now. So if you imagine that you have, you're kind of going to buy an ETF and it has to be physically backed. If you go to one of the institutions and say, okay, I want to buy one Bitcoin just now is $15,000. But if you, the company, has already bought that for $3,000, you've already made 500%, plus you're making money on trading that ETF or that Bitcoin as well. So you're not only making money from where you bought it at 3,100, you're making money on the trading part of it as well. It could be 5%, 2%. It could be a management fee if you're doing a hedge fund as well. So all these hedge funds are going to be in. In fact, they're in just now. They've been accumulating Bitcoin. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the governments are accumulating Bitcoin just now as a hedge for the future as well. And you won't be getting the governments and the institutions selling just now because they know when they're buying, it's getting scarcer and scarcer all the time. So this is why it's totally different from 2017. You didn't have the institutional investors in 2017. You've got them now. They're entrenched in the marketplace just now. And we don't know about it because nobody's kind of opening up. But in a couple of years' time, it's going to come out that, I don't know, what some of the big banks have been buying up Bitcoin since 2019. So it's all going to come out. And this is why Bitcoin will go to $100,000, $1 million, whatever, because of these institutional institutions kind of coming in and buying Bitcoin. So yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons that Bitcoin is pumping just now, because of the scarcity of Bitcoin. I've been saying that for a while, and I still really believe that. We're going to have pullbacks. It's just going to be organic pullbacks. We're going to have these as well. We're going to have manipulation as well. You've still got some big players from way back in the day when they had thousands of Bitcoin, when you could pay a couple of thousand Bitcoin to buy a pizza. You're going to have those kind of guys in the marketplace as well, manipulating the market. But it's going to be harder and harder as we kind of go along as well to manipulate the market. Just bought 10k more ADA, pounding my 10th peg now. Excellent. Again, that's what I'm doing as well. And just with the likes of kind of Cardano and XRP. I'm still looking at VET as well. I still think with the news that came out, I just think a lot of people don't realise how big that is. And it's getting forgotten about just now. So this is when to kind of start thinking about, okay, I'm going to pitch my tent over in the kind of VeChain camp. G-Slick, laugh my ass off, I feel sick. Peleapis, I think when the alts pump, XRP will be the one to blow up more than the others. I think so as well. I really do think that with regards to XRP. because it's just bubbling. I can feel it bubbling away in the underground, just bubbling, and it's just ready to totally and utterly explode. But that's my totally 100% biased opinion because I'm into XRP. I'm just going to see, it's probably gone down a wee bit more. 3,721. So 3,621. I did scalp XRP this morning as well when I was doing a trade. But we're talking just scalped it for a couple $100 or something. Because no point, not one of a Bitcoin now is what, $120. So you can scalp and still make $300, $400, $500 in a day. Well, a lot more than that, to be honest. But I wouldn't like to be kind of trading like we normally do in this market, unless there's one that comes up that is really looking quite good. And so you would have been trading kind of TNT if you go into 333. You'd have been trading that. That's on the daily, but even on the 1 hourly, you could have traded at 426, got in, and kind of got out around about 500 when it went up as well. So unless some of them came up like that, and you're looking on the hourly, the 15-minute chart as well, unless one of them came up like that, it's not really a trade. So you can scalp. You can scalp by looking at the 5-minute chart and the 15-minute chart and still make $300, $400, $500 in a day. But if you think about the amount you've lost in BTC or the amount I've lost in BTC. What's your thoughts on AGI? I like AGI. I was looking at that this morning as well. Well, I looked at every single chart this morning on Binance. But I do like AGI. For the long term as well, I think it's really good for the long term. Oh, that's Bitfinex. AGI, BTC. From a charting point of view, not good at all. Yeesh, not even on the 15-minute. But it's the same with all of them. So, macro view, 1 day all-time low. So it's only 5x off from where it has been. So, but I do like it for the long term, or longer term. And when the alts do run, AGI is going to be, I think all of them are going to run, to be honest. Is XRP working with or exploring and mentioned business connections? Big difference. So what do you mean by that, Natasha Sakamoto? Pascal Amsterdam, if you look at the days between XRP, where XRP was starting the highs, it should start soon. It should start very soon. And I'm saying within the next week. XRP is working with 30 plus central banks, MoneyGram and many more. The run will start soon. Smart people. It is going to start soon. It really is. Check out the US chart I sent you, and the premium looks good on the daily. Could see over $10 if it breaks out. Ah, EOS. Did you say EOS there, DJ? Yep. So look at EOS. Look at the Satoshi value. Yeah, so if you're looking at dollar value, see, I don't tend to look at the dollar values with this, but I'll look at the Satoshi value, just have a wee look. Because the dollar value, because it's pegged to the dollar value of Bitcoin. So see, this will be a marked difference from the kind of Satoshi value and the dollar value. So EOS USD. We'll look at Binance. Yeah, so it looks as if it's going to cross over there on a 1 hourly. It's gone $6.84. It has been as high as $7.70. Yeah, I'd see that as a bit, to be honest, DJ, I'd see that as a bit precarious. I'm looking at the USD value. Because if Bitcoin is coming down, obviously the USD value of EOS is going to come down as well, but the Satoshi value will probably go up as well, which will be in line with the kind of dollar value at the moment. BTC still holding its own. But a lot of people are going to be looking at dollar value as well. A lot of people are going to be doing that. Altcoin holder. Backed and Fidelity been buying. Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt they've been buying. Mac Pawn, thank you for your answer, Steve. My pleasure. BTC moving again. Yeah, we just seen that is moving again. 589 or 600. Walmart is using VeChain blockchain, but no one knows if they will use the VET token. It's true, Peggy Johnson. But as a company, if we look at it from a company-wide kind of point of view, like VeChain, then it's good for VeChain as a whole. Still sat on a fat bag of Pundy, minus 60%, too scared to DCA, too FOMO'd to sell. Yeah. I don't know how much money we kind of lost on Pundy over the last year or so. 7-8 Satoshi, and it's looking kind of 50-50. It might go to 6 or 7 Satoshi. But again, it's one of the few companies that have actually got a product. They're bringing it. They're trying to get main adoption, mainstream adoption. They're trying to get mass adoption. I just don't understand some of the cryptos or the projects. I just obviously I don't know where the heads are at of people who are not kind of buying this. And as I said, I keep asking myself, I must be missing something, because this just seems such a steal. But it seems such a steal at 10 Satoshi, at 15 Satoshi, at 20 Satoshi, and it's gone all the way down. Look at us just now. But in a couple of weeks' time, we're saying Pundy X is one of the highest risers. It's up at 19 or 25 Satoshi. So this is what's going to happen in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a different story in a couple of weeks' time when we're doing this live. Trust me. Trust me. I'm not just saying with Pundy X, but for the whole alts market and for Bitcoin as well. It's going to be such an ever-changing market. It's just unbelievable. Goldie Boy, Steve, when you sell your Bitcoin, do you ever go into Tether or just keep in dollars? I don't sell the Bitcoin. I always go into alts or from alts to Bitcoin. So I tend not to sell the Bitcoin into USDT. I tend not to do that at all. I don't see the point unless I'm going to be cashing out. So if Bitcoin was to go to, think of this scenario, Bitcoin was to go to $20,000. A lot of people would be saying, okay, I'm going into USDT now, but what happens when people get out of Bitcoin? Obviously, they either go into USDT, which a lot of retail investors like you and I don't do that anyway. So they're either going to USDT or they'll start buying alts. That's when the alts go up. So they also start going up. So if I had Bitcoin and it was $20,000, I would just say, okay, I've got one Bitcoin, I'm going to start getting the alts now. I'm going to jump into XRP, I'm going to jump into Cardano. Then XRP, Cardano, EOS, whatever it is you're into, Ethereum, Litecoin, starts going up in Satoshi value, which will keep the dollar value of that price up as well. So I just don't see the point in going into USDT. If you're just trading, because you could be just trading without kind of leveraging, you could be just trading Bitcoin. That would be a different story. So if I was kind of trading Bitcoin alone and I kind of bought Bitcoin at 7,000, say USDT, and it was going up and it went up to 20,000, obviously I'd sell. I'd sell then. I say, okay, I've now got $20,000. I think it's going to come down. If it went back down to $10,000, you could get two Bitcoin worth. So yeah, I see that from that point of view. I do see it from that point of view. So for trading, but not for everyday kind of currencies and just going into USDT and coming out again. I just don't see the point. But a lot of people do it. For whatever reason they do it, they think it's a good idea. I just don't see the point. Goddy, when you truly understand when to sell BTC, you won't have to. Natasha Sackman, smart people, why is there no steady value growth in XRP if what you say is true? Because you've got a 50-50 split. Well, it's not 50-50, but you've got a lot of people hating on XRP because of the bank stuff, because it's centralized, we don't want our banks to kind of control us any more than what they're doing just now. This is what XRP are doing. All that kind of false kind of information that was at the very, very beginning when XRP first came out. And that was my thinking as well. And then when you look into it, then you think, well, this is what brings about mass adoption. This is what brings about change in the banking system, what XRP are doing. That's why it's not gone up yet. That's why a lot more people are not into it, because of that kind of the false beliefs that people have about XRP. That's one of the reasons, obviously, as well. But obviously the other reasons, there's lots of different reasons. It's 2 minutes to go into it. It's a kind of whole show's worth. But the other reasons is obviously there's loads of billions and billions of tokens out there, and they're releasing, say, 1 billion kind of every month. But the billions that get released is coming back into escrow, and the institutions are bringing that back out of circulation by keeping it to kind of work the system basically, and just people not understanding it. But once people start understanding it, and you're not going to get people understanding it, and like the retail investor, because they don't want to look at it and see it, but the institutions are going to do understand it. They pull out the XRP from circulation effectively, and that's when the price is going to go up. That's when the retail investors are going to go in, and they're going to FOMO in. So again, it's institutions that win. So we can look past what we think we believe just now, because it's all about beliefs as well. And this is kind of my big thing about beliefs. So once you believe something, you've got it in your head, you can't see past that. So a lot of people have that belief about XRP in their head, and they can't see past it just now. If you start to question your beliefs, however, and just say, am I right in thinking that? And start questioning your beliefs about anything, not just kind of in cryptocurrency, but about anything in your life. Because we don't really know what our beliefs are. This is getting into different territory altogether. But if we start questioning our beliefs, then we start to see things a wee bit differently. And then we can start to see what others are seeing, like the institution. We can start to see why they're kind of getting in, why they're partnering with Ripple, or why they're getting kind of using XRP and stuff like that. So if we can see past before all the other retail investors, we don't need to see it before the institutional investors. We need to see it before the retail investors to win big for us and our family. And that's ultimately what it's about. That's why XRP is not going up in price just now. I hope that makes sense. Steve, I've been daily trading my BTC against my ADA and have accumulated lots more ADA every day. Do you recommend this? If you're thinking Cardano is going to be big for the future, and it is going to be big for the future, then that's a brilliant strategy. I like that as well. So it's not just, as I said at the beginning, it's about collecting as much BTC as possible. But if you're into Cardano for the long term, that's a different story. If you want to accumulate Cardano, then that's a brilliant strategy to do that. So it's just the same as collecting or accumulating BTC. You're accumulating Cardano because of the ROI potential for Cardano as well. So yeah, I think that's brilliant, Gordy Boy. Peggy Johnson, okay, thanks. Dietide Burning, when do you stream? I stream every morning, every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 9:30 a.m. I'm past the time just now, and that's BST time, British Summer Time. Melbourne Skidmore, ADA 768 a buy, no financial advice, without a doubt. Accumulate. What about XRP? Be free. We've been speaking about XRP for the last 20-30 minutes. So I don't know if you've just joined us. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I know I've kind of gone over time there, and I could talk for the next couple of hours. One day I think I'll do a stream for 24 hours and just talk shite, basically, just about crypto. That's not shite, but... Okay, 12,579, still going up. What's happening with anything else moving? Encash, no, nothing moving. BCPT going up a couple of percentage points. Pundy X, nothing moving at all. 772 for Cardano. XRP 3722. Okay, I'll leave it there just now. Thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate you joining me. Pundy, really disappointed. It is really disappointing. Great info. Thank you, Peggy Johnson. My pleasure, Peggy. And thanks to you as well. Don't have XRP yet, Natasha Sakamoto. You will do. You will. And try and get in before everybody else gets in. But thank you for joining me. I know you could be doing other things. I really appreciate your time. And until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree